Have you ever heard that phrase? I don't know who came up with this. I heard it a long time ago. No idea who said it, but I love it, and I've adopted it like fully. And it goes like this: never tell a point without a story. Never tell a story without a point.
I never heard of that. No.
It's been repeated in top like stage presentation courses and books. So like Simon Sinek talks about leveraging story, things like, so like top like TED speaker kind of thing, which I've taken several of those courses. I bought Simon Sinek's class, multiple Brunson classes, blah, 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 blah. And this topic comes out a lot. And I don't think that they invented that saying. I heard it there, and I think it comes from somewhere else. But it's really interesting. It's like, if I don't want to just rattle off a bunch of data points without connecting it to a story, because again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, the way people learn, if I just rattle off like 10 data points to you, I mean, you and I might remember because we're special kind of geeks, but the average person won't, right? Yeah. But if I can have some sort of like data, and I could tell a story about something, about how I learned and overcome something, and tie it back to like a piece of data that they should pay attention to, or maybe a tactic they should do, or something, right? Whatever it is, if I could tie it to a story, chances are people will remember it.
Right.
So I use this when I'm, presenting. I use it when I'm trying to get my team to do something that they're not doing, right? I will make points, because the thing that I'm asking them to do or asking them to change will likely be forgotten unless I put it to a story. And that's all I was doing that day. It was just like, I don't even remember what the point was, honestly. I remember the story, but I don't remember the point I was making, because I've made multiple points with that story.
You were just trying to in your head as to like, what story can I possibly apply?
Yeah, exactly. So I was trying to make this point. I was like, I was going through my data bank of like things. I was like, oh, that'll work. And then I did that, and they're like, man, you should make a short. So then I did that, and they're like, and then that reel is, it's one of my older reels too. It's probably 4 years old, and it's crushing it. But I think, I don't know. I actually want to ask you a question too, kind of on the meta stuff, because we see a variety of things across our desk. But what I tend to see on our clients' meta ads that work the most is the ones that have some, even if it's small, some kind of story, even if it's just a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Instead of just like, hi, I'm Micah with ABC Paint, and click the button to get a quote. Like that, you know what I mean? Like something to do about like who we are, why we're here. I mean, it really could be one tiny anecdote of story.
Yeah.
One.
Usually that is absolutely true. When you can attach a story, when you can attach a subject, when you can attach any sort of before and after, but like not just show a before and after in a picture, but actually convey it. Those always do best. And, you could build in some mechanics like, so it was definitely, it's been 15 years since they painted their house. So it was definitely time, that person could be like, it's been 25 years since I painted my house. Right. It's like you could build in these types of things, but like the small, like, hey, X area, we do interiors, exteriors, and that's it. Like a lot of guys do that, and we like it to be deeper. We like it to be showing off, and also showing the highest quality work physically possible as well.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going to spend money in advertising, we should be aiming for the top 10, 20 percentile of what you do. The full interiors and the full exteriors, and like the real jobs that really move the
people will still call you for the other stuff. Go aim for the fences.
They'll call you. And that's all well and good. But like I say this on, when we're speaking with you guys, is like, that's what we want to focus on. And the bottom 80% of work that you've had to do up until this point, the favors and the keep your guys busy kind of jobs, and like, God bless it, that all needed to be there. But like, we don't care about that work. We really want to attract this and focus on this. And when you shoot for the stars, sometimes you're going to land on the moon, and somebody's going to call you for a 3-room job, and you can still have that combo.
I know.
And it's very logical, right?
Well, and it's
without the story, it falls very flat. And what we will always want for our people is for when they go to the estimate, homeowner opens up the front door and goes, "Oh my God, you're the guy in the video."
Yeah, you're that guy. Yeah.
And if you don't have a story, people won't even remember. But if you tell a story, they hear your voice and they see your face and they get the idea, and that remembrance goes up. The longer that video is, the more you can pull them in, the more that percentage goes up. And that just does, that's a completely different way to approach this game.
Well, so, and I agree with everything you just said. What's interesting too is, and I think this really goes back to that, never tell a point without a story, never tell a story without a point. And again, I'm going to have to look it up one of these days for where that came from.
I'll chat GPT it right now. Go ahead.
Go for it while we're on. Yeah. Okay, but what's interesting is when we see the same thing on web. So I'll give you an example. Last year, we had 2 clients kind of in the Twin Cities area. They weren't conflicting, so like we weren't taking 2 people in the same radius, but they were close enough to be a very, very good comparison. You know what I mean? They were basically right next to each other. Now, client A had like headshots and team photos and photos of their team working with uniforms on, right? Little anecdotal stories. I think they had a family photo, but we've determined that that doesn't actually matter. It just has to be team, but family is
human.
people, right? But it can't be like stock photos of random dudes, right? It's got to be
No.
like people in your uniform,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So these guys basically
People by people, not models.
yeah, we have like a 1-page document. It's like kind of like a media checklist that you can give to like a professional to like get some basic stuff. We call it like a media day, right? You can hire a photographer / videographer, come out and take a few B-roll clips, do a couple of things, maybe a couple of Facebook ads if you're if you're doing that. But the big things that we get in there is like get headshots of every key member, take group photos, have shots where it's like your vans in not necessarily in the driveway, but like visible in front of the house with the branding on the truck and the house in the background of people's on ladder. Like get like the branding and the job being done in the same shot.
Yeah.
And have like multiple of that. Do that inside the house, outside the house, right? And of course, maybe take a few nice after photos that maybe are a little bit better than your cell phone. But mostly it's like the stuff with like we call them like in the industry, there's like B-roll shots, right?
No.
It's like the behind the scenes stuff. It's like all those things. Get some good BTS stuff. Where there's like media checklists that we give. And so in this example, client A did that. They did exactly what we said. And their SEO results just like this, Client B refused to get any photos. He gave us before and afters of jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But there was no humans
Yeah.
on that. None. And we're not going to buy stock images of random actors and put them on there. It's like, if it's not actually you, there's probably a bad idea to do that. So there's no humans. And of course, this website looks like we do great websites. It wasn't a template website, but it definitely looked like it.
Right.
Because there's no humans, there's no personality. There was no
there
was like the about page just talked about their 4-step painting process. There was no actual story about how they got started or anything like that. There was nothing meaningful about any human being in that company. And that company plateaued on that. Like, the technical SEO got a bump, right? For sure. But then because the content had no personalization, there was like no extra growth. So like we literally created like a policy like moving forward after that. And we always have known it's important, but we saw this direct side-by-side comparison. And now we have a hard rule for our clients. And if they don't do it, we let them go.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to collect media, right? And a lot of times sometimes people will come to us like, oh, I don't want to do meta ads because I got to record a lot of video. Guess what, buddy? I'm going to make you do a lot of media too.
Guess what?
It might not be all video, but there's going to be a lot of photos and stuff. Because the reality is Meta requires media. Websites require media. Billboards require media. Like all of it requires media. You know what I mean?
It's this funny catch-22 of I want promotion and I want my name and my face out there, but
without capturing my name and my face.
What are we doing? You're like, listen, you're here to help. Like we can do it better than everybody else, but let's do this.
Well, and that client B was just unfortunately very bashful, very shy.
Yeah.
Did not want to put his name in there. But now he definitely didn't want to do family. And again, we this was like early last year. We saw a few different cases of this. After that one, we're like, let's look at this deeper. Read some case studies on the matter too. Found that other people were finding similar results. So we typically think about like SEO a little bit more traditionally, backing up a few more years, is like great technical stuff, great content about the article or page that you're at, and that's kind of it. But now if there's not a high amount of personalization, at least on a local business level, it has almost no chance of ranking.
Yeah, I think that's more and more true on a local business level, right?
Yeah, I think like if you got like a basket weaving blog, you can probably be fine, right?
You can probably be fine not putting a face on there, but like a homepage is always number one. But what's number two? It's always the About Us page. It's always the About Us page.
Always, yeah. You can literally look at the Google Analytics and see that, and it's always
like if I'm looking at your website and I'm a local guy, like, and I'm clicking the About Us page, if I don't see your face, then we're just back to the beginning of this conversation of just like, then I don't get a sense as to who you are as a person. And at the end of the day, Whether anyone disagrees with it or doesn't disagree with it, people buy people.
Yeah.
And them's the facts.
Yeah, it is.
And that's just the way that it is. So never tell a story without a point.
And if you don't do that, you almost feel like one of those corporate conglomerates, like where there is no face, right? No one wants. We don't want that. The Walmart and the AT&Ts of the world. You know what I mean? Like
the $15 and $20 million a year places that we work with, they don't want it. They want to be the locally feeling place, and that's the right way to go. You don't want to. You're not Coke. Why are you trying to be Coke? Like, that's not what we're here to do. You're not Pfizer. Let's not treat it like that. Like,
I know.
So, but they never tell a story without a point, and never tell a point without a story, which attributed to Mark Twain, by the way. So now you know.
Mark Twain?
Mark Twain.
There we go. I knew it was something old, but I forgot what it was. Awesome. Yeah. Mark Twain. I'll try to remember
that. But it comes down to people as well, right? Like, the story is how people relate to people. So, like, you're talking about how to communicate to people, and we're talking about how people need to be able to be that person, and people by people. Like, that's the full kind of circle on the point. But yeah, I mean, we stress this a lot inside of what we do. And the one thing that I'll say is, like, the people who've shown the most reticence towards it and have been the most like, hey, listen, that's not really who I am. It's like, okay, I can appreciate that. I don't think I've actually taken like a personal selfie of myself in my entire life. I've taken selfie with my kids and my family, but like in a mirror, like I've never taken that picture. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. But you know what changes people's tunes? When you challenge them on it and they give it a shot.
And it works
fantastically well. And they're like, I just made another $30,000 because I went ahead and did this. And then those same guys will come back to us and be like, hey, buddy, you want 5 more videos? No problem, man. I'm here for you. Like, not a problem whatsoever. It's like that changes the tune. And they start to realize that it's not here. It's not a vulnerability thing. It's just what is actually required in today's day and age.
It is recorded.
You can talk about it or not, and you can agree with it or not, but it is what it is because people do buy people.